Hey everybody, this is Dr. Ben Pearl. So today we are using Icelandic fish cod to fill in a venous leg ulcer that is making progress. We've done 2 shield applications, and here's the result we have. If we could show everybody. We actually have what looks like a C bridging in the middle that looks like this is approaching pre-skin. We won't call it skin yet. I'm sure it's not having the tensile strength, but is looking like that scab you have on your arm that gets a little yellowy and then all of a sudden starts to fully epithelialize. So what I am going to do first is let's rough this up the peri part of the wound, which is still more of a granulation. I'm just cross-hatching. I'm not going deep. So for you coating gurus, this is not going to be a deep sub-Q. This is just like the very, very surface. And I might actually, depending on how much bleed I have, soak that a little bit, but if it's just not bleeding profusely, we'll just kind of keep it as is. And just to let you know, I'm going to use the back butt of this. This has got, I didn't go too hard, but it's got texture as like pre-skin. So this is doing exactly what we want. Now it's a little sensitive, but I'm going to just get a little bit more, not too deep, just to get some fresh physiologic activity. All right, now we're going to go straight to, over here please. We had some remnant that we're going to not waste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this product to my shield. And we're going to increase the circumference of this so we can utilize what is still very good. This was peri wound. This was just a little bit that was on the peri wound. And this way we'll utilize this, and we're going to do this first. Let's just do this. We'll trim that. We got to do this so we're ready. We're ready to go. I'm not going to take both off. I'm going to just do this one for now. So I'm making like a little extension, which will give us a little bit more product, and I'm going to make it such that I would prefer for the silicone to not be on the wound itself. So what I'm going to do now is get this other piece and utilize it, and let's get a little saline on this guy. Just a couple drops just to kind of get some pliability on this. Okay, you can always add a little more. Okay, stop camera. Okay, all right, here we go folks. What I've done is I've added this outer Saturn ring on my shield, 15 millimeters here. The wound, by the way, pre-measure was about 2.2 at its largest diameter was about 1.7, 1.8, but on it's more like I would say a Mexican jumping bean or pickle shape now. And then it's got this C shape right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this piece right here. Put that in. I'm going to get a little saline right here. We're going to just make that so it's already kind of more like a wound surface. And what we're going to do, we're going to get a little more saline, so we've got to be. Now as I say, we had our Saturn ring, and now I've taken the small pieces and I've arranged them inside the cusp of the C, so that when I lay this down, we're not going to have the exposure to the silicone. And then what I'm going to do, so I'm not stuck to this, we're going to attempt to do this in one clean swoop. I'm going to use this. As we get closer to the wound, it's got a very small edge here. Let's try to lay this.
Watch your scalp, your knife, please.
And I'm not putting it down hard yet, just so I can make sure I'm looking under to make sure I like where the orientation. I'd love this to be a little closer, but I think we're going to just have to accept that. Sometimes very good is better than perfect. I just don't want to interrupt anything. And that's about as tight of a seal as one could ever want. What I'm going to do now is we've got a cotton ball. We just want to create a little bit more pressure on this to get some tension. And I think I'm going to just take a little bit off. I'm going to do another dot here, just moisten it just a little bit. I'm going to put, before I do the cotton actually, I'm going to do a piece of fresh gauze. But let's get that linear. Put that on. Back on with the Mepitel. Voila.
Don't do the right side too much.
Okay. And we have a little something here that was just an abrasion she got at home, which has nothing to do with this product. And we'll make sure we're not on the abrasion.